Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Just prior to the Season 4 update dropping here in Black Ops 6 and Warzone, I was fortunate enough to take part in a creator dev call where several developers from Raven and from Treyarch, obviously the lead devs on BO6 and Warzone, sat down and previewed some of the updates for Season 4 and beyond. Really just detailed a lot of the specifics coming within the actual patch notes, some things to look out for, but because it is the devs just straight up talking about various things, we're able to ask them a few questions in regards to the seasonal content. We also got some exclusive information that you just simply would not find in the actual patch notes themselves or the various blog posts about the season. And so today I wanted to share some new exclusive details when it comes to what to expect with Season 4 and even beyond that as well for some upcoming updates and features and various things of that nature. So a couple of notes that I took throughout this in regards to the Q&A portion of this call. First up, the devs were asked about the future of Easter eggs within Warzone here, right? Obviously, with an update just after Season 3 Reloaded, we ended up gaining access to a bunch of the bunkers around the map. Bunker 11, the various other ones through the key cards, ones through some key codes as well with the actual pads on the outside of the bunker. However, as of right now at least, there's no real ultimate reward for gaining access into these bunkers, specifically like Bunker 11 for instance. Previously, back in Warzone 1, you went through, you did the Easter egg, you solved all the codes on the telephones with all the Russian numbers and everything. You went through, you got a bunch of rewards. Yes, there was some loot in the bunker just like there is now, which is pretty much spread across all the bunkers you can go through. You can get specialists, you can get some cool custom blueprints that drop, but they don't unlock anything permanently, and there's no special reward for doing all of this. Like for instance, back in Warzone 1, if you did Bunker 11, you gained access to the Mud Dropper MP7 blueprint, which is like a really cool thing at the time. This time around though, it's nothing. It's just gameplay stuff for that match in specific. You can get a blueprint to use in that match instead of your own custom gun, which you probably wouldn't opt for. You can get specialist for that match and that's it. Maybe you get some other good gear that you can use for that game. But beyond that, you don't get anything special. The devs did not directly confirm they have plans for specific rewards for current Easter eggs. They instead answered very ambiguously and basically just said something more is coming for the Easter eggs. There are things that players are going to want to look out for in the future. They didn't really give us an exact time frame if this is going to be something that mysteriously gets updated in Season 4, maybe Season 4 Reloaded, maybe beyond that in Season 5, but they did indicate that there should be something else in the way of Easter egg updates further on down the line that hopefully, gives us some larger awards or some special things to unlock that can actually, be recognized in game beyond just having a specialist token for that match or a random blueprint for that match, right? Another big question that they were asked was about the gameplay updates focusing around Warzone right now and Verdansk. Obviously with Season 4, we just got the new Outlook point of interest in downtown, or the new Outlook building, which is pretty crazy to run around and fight around because of all the different ways you can play with it. And one of the big things that it added to the game was several new zip lines horizontally and vertically around the building itself. And this is something that obviously we saw added in a lot during Modern Warfare 3 Warzone on Urzikstan, and the ability to zip line almost everywhere. And there's already been a lot of concern from the community saying, okay, this is just the start, isn't it? Now we're going to see zip lines added everywhere. They're going to start focusing on all this stuff. The devs were very adamant that zip lines are meant to be, and especially like the horizontal ones and things of that nature, are meant to be specifically for this POI, for this new Outlook building in downtown, and they're not going to be adding these crazy zipline mechanics across a ton of buildings around Verdansk. They are meant to be an exclusive feature and an exclusive update for this POI change for Season 4, and it's not going to be something they spam across the map. They definitely said they want to focus movement around it being classic, like Warzone 1, not with redeploy balloons or a ton of zip lines and things like that. It's going to be the zips that we had back in Warzone 1, the new ones around this new building, and that's pretty much it, unless they update other POIs with brand new, facelifts like the Outlook building this season. So for those concerned that they're going to repeat history here and go through and re-add all these things that made Warzone maybe feel a little bit less like Warzone, that's not going to be the case as far as these specific like zipline features go within the game. The devs were also asked a little bit about Resurgence and if there were any plans to reintroduce Area 99. Obviously, we've just had Rebirth for the past little while now, which certainly can grow a little bit stale considering we've had Rebirth like every single year for the past half decade, right? And to this, they said Area 99 has no plans for Season 4. I don't know if they specifically mentioned, for season 4. We're not going to say anything beyond that. I don't know if that was their intent there, or if they were just answering very honestly, like, hey, we haven't thought about Area 99 for this season. But they did sort of answer in a way that was like, oh, you know, we've heard feedback. Perhaps there's something being planned for further on down the road. Maybe they kind of have some big send-off update with Resurgence for this year, with Area 99, with other updates that are included around that. You keep in mind, you know, you might remember, we've also talked about how Vondel and Fortune's Keep have updated versions in the game files, and we haven't really heard anything about that, you know, up until now. So possible that maybe they're teasing some kind of other Resurgence map return later on this season, just with their wording there. Again, hard to interpret because it's kind of subjective based on, you know, their tone there. It's hard to replicate here in video form because you guys weren't in the call, right? But something to keep an eye on there. There is a direct confirmation, though, that nothing should be expected for Area 99 this season. And speaking of the Battle Royale and Resurgence balance, they did also sort of stack on this and mention that, hey, in the past, we, Raven, realized that we might have over-indexed on one mode versus the other, basically saying we might have focused a little bit too much on Resurgence at times, and then not enough on Battle Royale, but then flipped it. Too much focus on Battle Royale, not enough on Resurgence. They did say that that is something they are actively working to change, and going forward, they do want to have a much greater balance of support for both Warzone Resurgence and Warzone Battle Royale, whether that be in the form of content, gameplay updates, keeping the metas fresh for those specific niches. They did say they are very confident in their abilities to balance this out more going forward in future seasons, and I also think that means good things going forward for the next few integrations, obviously, as well. When we see a new integration happen and a new map is added in, if it's for Resurgence, then it seems like all the focus is on Resurgence, and if it's for Battle Royale, then it's all there instead. It's nice that they are more self-aware of the over-indexing there, as they described it, with those modes, so that should be good news going forward. And by the way, as we're going through all these you know, additional details here that the devs shared with us, if you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always seriously appreciated. It really helps grow the channel and share the video around. And if you happen to be new here, or maybe you have not subscribed yet, each and every day I got you covered with everything you need to know for Call of Duty, so feel free to hit that subscribe button and turn on those post notifications. Help get us one step closer to reaching 1 million subscribers. Another concern that I've seen you guys bring up a lot in, you know, video comments over on Twitter, wherever the case is longer queue times and rough server stability in more lower pop areas, or areas where there are not a ton of servers. Like, for instance, South America was brought up specifically in this call. A lot of the Brazilian creators there were mentioning, hey, it's really hard to find games with low ping or with low queue times. Any update here? And unfortunately, there was no one specifically from Demonware who handles the Call of Duty servers on this call. However, the devs did mention that this is something they are aware of. They are forwarding this issue more and more to the you know, appropriate departments. So hopefully this means we are going to see some progress. And I did just want to fully inform you guys that it is something that is on their radar now. So hopefully something comes of that. Obviously, if they announce anything there, if they give us any new details to pass along, I'll be sure to keep you guys informed. Obviously, a lot of the focus on the content here throughout this video thus far has been on Warzone, or sort of Call of Duty in general. The devs did give us one specific bit of info in regards to zombies, and that's with the new Grief update, obviously debuting here in Season 4. This is not an LTM. Grief is going to be a permanent mainstay for zombies gameplay. So as we see new maps added in the final few seasons of Black Ops 6 here, Grief is going to be around, and then who knows what goes on with Black Ops 7, if it is a direct sequel, and obviously everything ties together there, maybe with some carry forward and whatnot. The zombies mode also features Grief there as well. I feel like the way that they were talking about the Grief development, it certainly seemed like it was more of a long-term process and long-term initiative, rather than just being here for a couple of seasons to round out BO6. So Grief, at least for Black Ops 6, maybe beyond as well, is going to be a permanent mode for zombies. And then lastly here, the devs were also asked about any updates on the specific PC performance issues depending on your hardware. Specifically, like the AMD cards have really had a lot of issues since the start of Season 3. And they did mention that their partners with AMD are still actively investigating this stuff. They're still testing stuff and trying to figure out full fixes sort of universally for all of the various bugs and issues that are popping up depending on which series graphics cards you have. So that is something that is still on the radar, still being worked on directly with AMD, and hopefully we'll have some full resolutions here soon. And again, as we do see any news in regards to that or anything else pop up, you guys know this is the place to be to stay up to date with all that stuff. So feel free to hit that sub button, turn on those post notifications. But that is going to wrap things up for this one. If you guys enjoyed, a like rating on your way out would be seriously appreciated. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you later. Peace out.